Mr. Solomon?
Yes, sir. How may I be of service? Oh, let me guess. You're looking to replace that old coat. It looks like it's got quite a few stories it could tell me.
You should listen to the man, Miles. He clearly knows what he's talking about.
Shut up, Bill.
Not today, I'm afraid. There's still a few more stories it has left to tell. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Questions? Very well, but if they aren't about tailoring, I don't know how much help I'll be.
Taylor.
This is a nice shop you have. I never even knew it existed.
Well, better late than never, I always say. Life has a funny way of always taking us where we need to go in the end.
True. Although I think it's easy to miss out on things from time to time.
Oh, of course, it's easy to overlook the details, but in the grand scheme of things, you'll end up where you need to be. And in this case, you ended up here.
Yeah.
So, please, feel free to take a look around. Let me know if you find anything you like.
What about this torn fabric?
I found this piece of torn fabric with your emblem on it. Can you tell me anything about it?
Yes. Brown, wool, houndstooth. This is from one of the more popular jackets I sell.
And here I thought my ability to name ales within 5 seconds of tasting them was good. This fella has me beat.
Do you have any of them in stock currently?
Well, sure, I've got one on the display dummy over there.
Is there any way you can tell me who you've sold them to?
Ooh, I don't think so. I've sold at least 20 in the past month. As I said, it's a very popular style.
Okay.
Is there anything you can tell me about this button?
Looks like it's made of wood. Not very well crafted either. Definitely not from one of my products.
What about you?
How did you get into this business, Mr. Solomon?
I was always good with a needle and thread. When I was a boy in Poland, I would help my mother with her sewing. Then, during the war with Russia, I fixed uniforms and stitched up wounds. Not long after that, I moved to Vespuccia, settled here in New Bretagne. My first shop was in the Chum, but thankfully, I was very successful and was able to move to Lyon. I won't lie to you, this location is much, much nicer. It's refreshing to not have to step over drunken hobos when I open and close the shop.
Oh, but that's part of the charm of owning a business in the Chum.
Not
Charming.
much else to say beyond that. My business is my life.
You seem very dedicated to your craft.
That's right. You won't see any of that newfangled steam-powered nonsense in here. Everything is done by hand and with care. I use only the finest quality materials and stitch every thread myself. And that's the way it's gonna stay as long as I'm around. It's worked for 45 years. There's no reason to change as far as I'm concerned.
I'll be taking my leave of you now, Mr. Solomon.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you. So, is this the display dummy?
Come to think of it, I have seen plenty of people wearing that design. No tears in this one, though.
Yeah.
That coat is so dull. I always prefer the ones with a bit more
So
color.
we need to look for people with this kind of coat. Okay. We still have investigated Solomon's stitching.
That cloth will be a garment. Or maybe I'm
Nothing here.
judging from the position.
Already got that.
Impressive collect. I wish I'd known about.
Okay. The clock.
I think we've gotten all we can from him.
Okay.
This guy has been in business. Isaac Samuel. I sure hope I. It's quite the selection.
Okay, for now, let's go. Nothing else here. So, let's go to the landing office.
Hello, sir. Welcome to LaFay Lenders. I'm the owner, Chester LaFay. Are you looking to take
hello.
out a loan?
Not today, I'm afraid. I'm Miles Fordham, a private investigator.
Look, I don't know what you've heard, but I run a clean business here. I don't need any trouble.
And I'm not here to cause any, for the moment.
Just keep your nose where it belongs, and we should get along fine.
A heater.
Do you suppose LaFay turns the heat up to put some pressure on his clients?
Maybe.
Must be soothing for LaFay to be able to look at this landscape while he sits at his desk. A crew escaping a shipwreck on a violent sea. Not the most comforting painting to look at while waiting for a loan.
Yes.
He actually has a degree in business from the University of New Bretagne? What a waste. LaFay with a woman and a small girl. I wouldn't have taken him for a family man.
Okay. Analytical Computron.
That's the latest model Computron. They don't come cheap. LaFay must be doing pretty well for himself.
Yes. It's a difference engine.
I shudder to think how many people's financial freedoms are locked away in that cabinet.
Okay, let's talk to Chester.
Mr. LaFay, I'd like to ask you some questions.
Fine, but keep it brief.
What about Malcolm Harris?
Tell me what you know about Malcolm Harris.
Ah, Mr. Harris. Took out a loan about a month ago. Still hasn't paid me back. In fact, he sent along a letter yesterday saying he was having an emergency and needed more time. I probably should have refused to do business with him. As soon as he walked through the door, I could tell his type.
What type is that?
Upper class, bored with his life, trying to escape and doing it through vice. In his case, gambling.
This guy is good. Maybe you can pursue money lending if the whole private investigator thing doesn't work out.
But for some reason, I pitied him and decided to give him the loan anyway. Compassion isn't exactly an asset in this business, you see.
Nothing to worry about in your case, then.
Aside from that, I don't know anything about him. I prefer to keep how much I know about my clients to a minimum. Makes things easier for me.
Okay.
Are you aware that Malcolm's son Charles was kidnapped last night?
I had no idea he even had a son. As I said, I don't ask my clients too many personal questions. Though now you've told me, I suppose that would explain the emergency he mentioned in his letter. Poor guy.
When did he send you this letter? Like at one time? After the kidnapping or before the kidnapping?
Exactly how much did Mr. Harris borrow from you?
Is that relevant to your investigation?
Yes.
It would help to have an idea of exactly how much he owes you, yes.
I don't feel comfortable telling you the exact amount, but I will say it was over 500 crowns.
A considerable sum.
Like I said, I probably shouldn't have done it, but I'll get the money back one way or another.
Okay.
What's your policy regarding people who don't pay their loans back?
There are a few options. For the first 3 months or so, I'll send them a letter reminding them. After that, I start to threaten them with legal action. You wouldn't believe some of the things people do to avoid paying back their loans. One client went so far as to fake his own death.
Do you ever employ any more unusual methods?
Now wait just a minute. I see where this is going. Mr. Fordham, I'm a family man myself. If you're implying that I would stoop to kidnapping someone's child as collateral...
I never said that, Mr. LaFay.
Look, I have a family to consider. I'm not about to go getting my hands dirty when there's plenty of legitimate ways to handle the situation.
Yeah, this guy's not our man.
Take a look at this piece of fabric. Does it look familiar to you?
Sure, it looks like it came from a jacket. In fact, yes, it's the same fabric as the jacket I'm wearing.
This jacket.
Would you mind if I took a look at your jacket?
Sure, not a problem. Here.
It's a good jacket. Fancy. No rips, no nothing. Looks good. Nothing to click. Let me see. Click, 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 click. Okay, we can rotate it. But as you can see, there's no rips in this.
No tears in mine, huh?
Nope.
Not a one. You clearly take good care of your clothing.
I don't mean to discourage you, Mr. Fordham, but I've seen a lot of people with this style of jacket.
Yeah.
Hell, even Malcolm has one. I remember he was wearing it when he came in here.
I see. Thank you for the information, Mr. LaFay.
That's a good piece of information. I'm suspecting the Malcolm guy.
I've got some more questions, Mr. LaFay.
Go ahead, then.
What about you?
Tell me a bit about yourself and your business, Mr. LaFay.
What's to tell? I lend people money, they pay me back.
Surely it's not that simple.
Well, of course I charge interest, otherwise I'd never make a profit. I know people don't look upon the service I provide very favorably, but without my help, there would be a lot more unhappiness in the world.
How did you go about starting up this business?
I didn't. My former employer, Mr. Roth, left it to me when he passed.
That was rather good of him.
Yes, well, he didn't have any heirs, and he considered me to be the son he never had. He was fond of my family, too. I try and keep my work and home life as far away from each other as I can, though. There's a lot of things in this line of work that my wife and daughter are better off not knowing about.
I think that's all for now.
Okay. Nothing here. Thank you for your time. But I think I have my suspect now. Need to find Roland the musician and investigate Solomon's stitching a little bit more common jacket. Even Mr. Harris owns one. You see? Interesting. Okay, let's go to the Harris construction yard. Murderers.
And so we say to Harris and his cronies, no, we will not stand for this. Too many have died to allow this to continue. Steam tech must be stopped.
No steam tech.
Time has come to reject steam machines. They take our jobs, they take our families, they take our lives. We won't stand for this injustice any longer. Clyde Harris has no concern for the people who died aboard the Lygia or their families. The only thing that matters to him is lining his pockets with the misery of others. To this we say no!
Okay, it's a pretty, strong protest here.
Well, someone certainly wasn't shy about making their opinion known.
Yeah.
Lads, we will not just stand by and watch another bringer of fiery death hover over us. Mark my words, the HMS Lenore will not fly!
Yeah.
Well, someone certainly wasn't shy. Well, rich people really do like making others aware of what's theirs, don't they?
Yeah.
And so we say to Harris and his cronies, no, we will not stand for this. Too many have died to
Now that is an impressive piece of machinery.
This thing over here. Protest leader, protesters.
The time has come to
Sign.
reject steam machines. They take our...
But the way this gate is set up, I think trespassers should get an award for being able to breach the fortress. Elect Hart Leroy, the man of the people. I think that's preaching to the choir around here. Don't these people have jobs they need to go to? Don't these people have jobs they need to go to?
Pardon me, are you Arthur Devons by any chance?
Yes? Who are you?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. Could I ask you a few questions?
Guess so, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Are you cooking like meth? Because you look like the guy from Breaking Bad.
You recognize this letter, Mr. Devons?
How'd you get that? That wasn't meant for you.
I found it at the home of Mr. Malcolm Harris. He tells me you've been sending quite a few of these to his father.
Me and everyone else would had someone killed by that devil machine. I'm not the only one, you know.
Yeah.
Perhaps not, but he told me you were the most persistent.
Harris family.
What have you got against the Harris family?
Family? Don't know nothing about the family. The only one I got a problem with is Clyde Harris, the one who owns this yard. He's just like all those other rich bastards with their heads in the clouds. The man don't care about the dead. He just wants to make as much money as he can. I'm just trying to make him realize how wrong he is.
What about this kidnapping?
Do you know anything about the kidnapping of Charles Harris?
Charles Harris? Who's that?
Clyde Harris's grandson.
I didn't even know he had a grandson. I can't believe someone with a grandkid, a family, would want more flying death in the air.
Okay, this guy is not
How many more people
it.
have to die before someone realizes that steam machines are evil? People will kill their own mams for a crown these days.
Yeah, this guy is not. This is not it.
Do you practice voodoo, Mr. Devons?
What?
The chicken bones and dust you send along with your letters. It's a voodoo spell meant to cause bad luck in business. Quite a convenient solution, wouldn't you say?
I don't know what you're on about.
Come now, Mr. Devons. I'd appreciate it if you didn't think I was stupid.
All right, fine. I went to go see one of them magic women in Gascon. She told me about the spell and what I needed to do. I don't believe in this stuff, but I thought maybe if I used it, I could scare Harris enough to get him to stop making the new airship.
Well, I don't mean to be one to put a damper on your amateur witchcraft, but it doesn't seem to be doing you much good.
No, his grandson got kidnapped. That's not something I'd call lucky.
Yeah. I wonder if this is the same lady from the first case.
Why are you out here protesting?
Because what Harris Construction is doing ain't right. I lost my wife in the Ligeia crash, and I'm not the only one, neither. Hundreds of people were affected by that disaster, and now these bastards are making another airship. It's like a slap in the face to everyone who died. I just can't understand it.
What do you hope to accomplish by protesting?
Simple. We want construction of the Lenore stopped, and a full investigation into the Ligeia disaster. Not only that, we want compensation for our losses. Royal Maverick took care of all the families of those on board, but the families of the ones in the park didn't get a single copper. It just isn't fair. We aim to make things right. After that, it'll just be a matter of time before people realize that there's no future in steam tech, and they'll call the whole thing off.
Ah, the innocence of the downtrodden. I wish I could be as naive as them. It would have made my life a lot easier.
Yeah. I guess we learned about this spell in the voodoo thing in the Spectre Society. I did not read the entire text.
You must have loved your wife very much.
Are you joking? I loved her more than there are stars in the sky. She was my whole world, Mr. Fordham, the light of my life. It's been nothing but cold and dark since she was killed. You're married, aren't you, Mr. Fordham? I see a ring on your finger.
I am, yes.
Then take my advice. Appreciate every moment you have with her. You never know when she'll be ripped out of your life, leaving you with nothing.
You know, this fellow was actually pretty wise. Maybe we misjudged him.
Okay, what about this torn fabric?
Does this piece of fabric look familiar to you?
Looks like it came from some fancy jacket, the type you'd expect to see on the snobs in Leon. I could never afford clothes like that in a million years.
Yeah. What about this button?
Do you recognize this button?
Can't say I do, but it looks handmade. I wonder how long it will be before the poor soul who crafted that button gets booted into the street and replaced with some steam-belching contraption.
Wow. What about you?
You seem very dedicated to your cause.
I'll take that as a compliment, Mr. Fordham.
There's quite a lot of people who are against steam tech, aren't there?
Yes, the movement is gaining ground and growing rapidly, I'm pleased to say.
I've heard stories about some more extreme members. Do you know anything about that?
You mean the Redites?
The
Sure,
Deadites,
I've heard of
yes.
them. Even met a few. But if you think I'm telling you anything else beyond that, you're sorely mistaken.
Are you a member of the Redites, Mr. Devons?
Are you a Deadite?
I prefer more peaceful methods of making my voice heard. Now, if you don't mind, I think we should drop the subject.
Good day to you, Mr. Devons.
You too, Mr. Fordham.
Okay,
We
I don't
won't
think
stand for
there's
this
anything
injustice
else here.
any longer.
Roland and Solomon stitching. Let's look. Okay, so let's talk to Addie. See if she's here.
Ah, home at last.
Good to see you've made it back in one piece.
Thank you. Yeah, the protest at the dealership. At the shipyard.
Addie?
What do you need, dear?
Hairdressing.
You weren't kidding about business picking up. You're averaging what, about 3 appointments per day?
More like 5. I told you, debutante ball season's busy.
Doesn't it get tiresome?
Not really. You'd be surprised at the sort of gossip I hear from my clients.
Nice.
I don't know what it is, but they just open up to me and tell me all kinds of
Okay,
personal
come on.
things.
Informant.
You sure you don't want me to give you a trim?
I'm fine for now, dear. Thank you.
I'm gonna compliment you. You look nice.
I'd forgotten how good you are at écarté. You absolutely destroyed me the other night.
As I recall, you used to hold your own pretty well.
We should have another match soon. That way I can hone my skills.
Yes, we should. As long as you can concentrate, I'm sure you'll get as good as you used to be.
Okay, Roland.
Addie, did you ever work with or meet a musician in Gascon named Roland?
Roland?
Yes, a piano player.
Oh, of course. That's gotta be Roland Devereaux. Yes, I know him. I'd just as soon never hear the name again, if I'm being honest.
That bad, huh?
He's just an arrogant little twerp, completely full of himself, thinks he's God's gift to music. He really isn't very good. Misses notes like you wouldn't believe. Used to throw me off the few times I sang with him.
Well, he's a person of interest in my current case. Any idea where I can find him?
Last I heard, he was playing a regular gig at the Crimson Cat, but that was a few years ago. If he's not still there, they might know where he went.
The Crimson
Thanks, dear.
Cat.
That's incredibly helpful.
My pleasure.
Mrs. Delacroix.
I can't believe the nerve of that narrow-minded old cow.
Who, Mrs. Delacroix? She's actually one of my nicest clients.
I don't know how you can tolerate her. If I were you, I'd strike her off my list.
If I did that for every one of my clients who thought the same as her, I'd be out of a job. That's just the way it is.
Maybe so, but it doesn't make it any less infuriating.
You know about the Spectre Society?
Have you ever heard of a group called the Spectre Society?
I think I had a client once who mentioned it. There's some kind of spiritualist group, right?
Yeah.
So it would seem.
I don't really know anything else about them, sorry.
How about you?
How are things going with you?
I'm a bit worried about some rumors I've been hearing.
Oh?
They're saying it won't be long before automated hairdressing devices are available to the public.
Nah.
Once that happens, it's going to be tough for me to keep getting jobs.
Automated hairdressing devices? How would those even work? Do they read your mind?
Doubtful. More than likely they'll have some kind of settings or just give everyone the same type of hairstyle.
I wouldn't worry too much, Addie. You're the best hairdresser in town. I doubt people will place their trust in some contraption over you.
You underestimate my clientele, Miles. They're mostly all rich socialites whose hobbies are buying the most expensive and modern things just to outdo their peers.
Yeah.
They'll be sending their servants to line up for days before the things are released.
Perhaps, but they'll come running back to you once the machines stop working. You'll see.
I certainly hope so.
I'll let you get back to your book.
Okay, thank you, Addie.
Let her read in peace for now.
Okay, let's go. I thought we were going to tell her
I shouldn't
about
be gone
Bill.
too long.
I wish you'd let me fix your hair before you go out like that.
It'll be fine.
It's a little scrubby, but it's good. Okay, so what do we have here? The Crimson Cat. Let's go to the Crimson Cat.
Ah, the Crimson Cat. One of my favorite underground clubs. Ooh, I spent some wild nights here. Which reminds me, I wonder if Stefan is still working the bar these days.
I don't see anybody here. Beer tap.
Looks like they've got Bollingworth, Mill Hopper, and Brooklyn Lager. Not a bad set of beers.
Not a bad set of beers. Spirits.
Quite the selection. It rivals even the Angel.
Placard.
Fine beer always served here. Good to know.
Yeah.
Attention customers. Use of Dr. Tennyson's figure pills while under the influence of alcohol may cause loss of consciousness. It's nice to see this establishment looking out for its patrons.
Yes.
Seagrave's Stasholine, high-quality mustache wax. You know, I always wondered what you'd look like with a mustache.
Weird, probably.
Good old Bollingworth ale. Unlike so many other things in life, it never lets you down. Well, not while you're drinking it anyway. The next morning is another story entirely.
Yes.
This place has been around for quite some time. That well-dressed feline is Red, the
This
official
one.
mascot.
Yeah.
Looks like a view of Claremont Street with St. Denis Cathedral in the background.
Okay.
Call me old-fashioned, but I've always felt the piano should be played by an actual human. These automated ones just don't have any soul.
You can talk to this guy.
Excuse me, are you Roland Devereaux?
Who's asking?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I wanted to ask you some questions.
Sure, whatever you say.
Ha! Look at the face on this guy.
Are you acquainted with a woman named Miriam Harris?
Sure, acquainted. That's definitely a word you could use. But then, I'm also acquainted with about 20 other women in this borough alone.
Fascinating. Could you tell me about Miriam, please?
Sure. That woman could talk the ear off a cornstalk.
Oh? She said you didn't talk much.
That's right, I don't. She talks plenty for the both of us. Always going on about how sick she is of the phony high society types, how glad she is to be with someone real. But hey, she's loaded. And she's pretty good in bed, so it's a nice little thing we got going on.
You know, I have two suspects. The Mr. Harris, so he could, I don't know, try to get some ransom paid by his father, something like that, to pay the debts. Or the Linda lady, because, you know, she misses her kid. Those are my two suspects.
Are you aware that Mrs. Harris's son was kidnapped last night?
What? Kidnapped?
Yes. Do you know anything about it?
No, not at all. I mean, I knew she had a son. She wouldn't shut up about him. Why would anyone take someone else's child voluntarily? Are people that desperate to have their own little brats?
Okay, this guy is just inconsequential to our investigation.
I assume you're not a fan of children?
Let's just put it this way. I would rather have a hot poker shoved up my ass repeatedly than ever have to deal with a child.
We can arrange that.
That's quite specific.
And we can arrange that.
There is no way in hell I'm going to tie myself down and give up this great life of mine. If this lady's kid's been stolen, she'll probably leave her husband and want a replacement brat. I'm not gonna be that sucker. That's for sure. Thanks, friend. You've really opened my eyes. I think the time has come to exit stage left from Mrs. Harris's life.
You're a real piece of work, Roland.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So, I take it you're a musician?
A musician? Am I a musician? Man, you insult me. Ask anyone who hears me tickle those ivories. They'll all tell you. I'm doing the Lord's work. I am more than just a mere musician. I have a purpose on this earth, and that is to move people, to bring joy to their souls.
And this is after you've set the piano back to manual, right?
I don't expect a layman like yourself to understand, least of all a private eye. Your job is exploiting people's misery. I don't know how you can even look at yourself.
Oh, it's fairly easy. But then I expect you've never gone more than 5 minutes without looking at yourself. I think that's quite enough for now.
It's about time.
Yeah, you suck a little bit. Egotistical. Okay. This guy is a jackass. Investigate Solomon's stitching. Yeah, we need to come back and talk to Mr. Harris about the jacket.
Oh, Mr. Fordham. Oh, thank God you're back.
What's going on?
Our butler just brought this in. He found it stuck to the gate outside.
Harris family, we have your son. If you ever want to see him again, you must stop building the new airship. We are not joking. What? I think this guy is trying to imitate the other.
I have some questions for you, Mr. Harris.
Yes, of course.
Ransom note.
What is your opinion of this ransom note?
It's obvious who sent it, Mr. Fordham. Why are you wasting your time here? Go arrest Mr. Devons!
Those are all the questions I had for now.
All right.
I have some questions for you if you're up to answering them, Mrs. Harris.
I'll try my best, Mr. Fordham.
Did you read the ransom note?
No, Malcolm wouldn't let me. He said I was already too upset.
That's all for now, Mrs. Harris.
Very well.
I'm going into your bedroom.
On the dark roads of Montana, there's a shadow in the dirt, the whisper of a mountaineer in a ragged flannel shirt. He walks the stony hillsides with his mandolin in hand, but you'll never see his face around this long forgotten